Greetings, this is Scholar Saunders Singh. What's current? Super Bowl Sunday, 49ers and the Chiefs. San Francisco and Kansas City. Kansas City looking to get back-to-back titles. Hasn't been done since the Patriots 2003-2004 season. And we're going to talk about the Patriots. We're going to talk about a lot of things now. We got to talk about the issues with the NFL, where the Super Bowl is being played, Las Vegas. You know, it's very goofy. People have rituals. People have taboos. People have, different ways of trying to figure out what, the score is going to be, what the spread's going to be, whatever is going to happen, wherever the betting is going to be. It's on and popping. But I just had to, let it be known about the pieces of shit in the history of sports. From everyone from, Shoeless Joe Jackson, Say It Ain't So Joe, to Pete Rose, to Tim Donaghy. I mean, these are just terrible examples of what happens when you mix, cheating or betting in sports. It's a lethal, disgusting combination. And it leads people to make ideas like there's a conspiracy, like with Taylor Swift, maybe. She's trying to get, from her concert in Japan to the Super Bowl after, the alleged, winners, the Kansas City Chiefs, the supposed winners, get on the center in the field and declare her, support for President Joseph Biden for his next term. It's just goofy stuff like that. That's what's happening. That's what's going down. It's little stupid stuff like that. Salute to Black Cuddy. Black Cuddy on the check-in. He's saying 49ers, Dallas fans will be going for the 49ers. Hey, I'm not going for either team. They're not. I don't even go for this team. This is my dad's team. This is my dad's room. I'm just renting it without pay. Yeah, so I'm a Dallas supporter because I like the idea of the Cowboys. I like how it's the America's team. They're the richest team in all of sports. They have over $5 billion that they work with that is under management. To pay the players, to pay off the keep up the stadium, to keep up all the different ins and outs. Their second most is, I think, in baseball is the Yankees. I think they have like 4 billion, not even a million, billion. But the Cowboys are the biggest team in sports in America, all across the board, across the entire board. Every team, NBA, NHL, MLB, the Cowboys have it. What's the problem is they need to win a ring. They haven't won a ring since Clinton was in office. So, and they're on the cusp. They definitely have enough power. They have enough power behind them, but they just need to get that ring. Some people say they need to get rid of Dak. That's something from somebody else. I'm not, a sports aficionado. I just like to watch the spectacle. I like to watch, different things. But I was just watching a few clips of outrageous games that the NFL has, played. There's different games. Bottlegate. There's Dez caught it. And there's different games and different plays that occurred that are, questionable, and that, leads one to think, maybe the game is rigged. Maybe, the referees are in on it. I mean, it's not impossible. Like I said, Tim Donaghy, piece of shit that he is, he was calling games. He was calling, different, he was saying different calls and letting people, slide and making sure other people were penalized. And it was just a whole thing. He went to jail. He did time for it. Then he came out with a book so he could get more money. He's white. He'll be all right. And so it's okay. Don't worry about him. He's going to be all right. He got an interview by Vibe TV. I'm sure he got a bag after that. So it's what it is. But my main thing is, I think it's about mysticism. I think it's mainly about, and especially, you say the game is rigged when it's not your team that wins. If your team wins, oh, yeah, they did a great job. The game's not rigged. Team loses, oh, the game's rigged. Oh, come on now. They had people on the field, and they through the game they weren't playing as well. They did that on purpose. Like, okay, I'll take that. But what's weird is that confluence, that combination of you know outright and obvious cheating and betting on sports. I mean, it happened with just a few months ago. Players Isaiah Rodgers, Rashad Berry, and Demetrius Taylor were suspended indefinitely through at least the conclusion of the 2023 season for betting on NFL games in the 2022 season. So they're betting on the NFL game. I think it would have been okay if they had bet on the NBA games. They were betting on the Lakers and the Celtics. It would have been all right. But they couldn't bet on the Raiders and the Saints. And by the way, this is a black and gold affair, but this is for my high school, not for the New England Saints that wear black and gold. So just to clear that up. But yeah, it's goofy. I can't wait to see this. I mean, it's all about the dollar sign. Let's not quit. Let's not commit, like false ideals. It's all about the commercials. Everything is about the dollar sign. Let's not confuse it. It's just going to have a good game. It's going to have a lot of fun. No, it's all about the money. And that's what it should be. Money is a good thing. Money is not evil. Making money is not evil. Making lots of money is not evil. And being greedy is not evil. And then, yes, I said it. Being greedy is not evil. Being greedy means you want more. It's an insatiable desire for more. That's exactly what it means. It's all it means. Doesn't mean that you're going to hurt, harm, or put somebody in hazard just to get your ends, just to get your way. That's irrational. That's not greed. Scarfing down, pizza and wings and pies and cakes and stuff like that, that's not greed. That's gluttony. And you can have, your right to be in a glutton. You're not, they call it, they call it greed and gluttony, sins, that's part of the Christian tradition and other different faiths as well. But the reality is that greed is good. It shouldn't have been said by Michael Douglas's character, Gordon Gekko. But he told the truth. He told what the reality is. Greed is good. Greed, it clarifies, cuts through, and makes things better. Robert Nacer, hallelujah. Salute to you, sir. Thank you for stopping by. He says, truth. Indeed, the game is rigged in about 20 different ways, none of which have to do with the cursed flag. I'll continue. He says, player histories and baggage, betting inside and outside, cute celebrity girlfriends are silly conspiracy theories, but at some point, all of the different distractions are baked in, and it comes down to who's got what it takes, given everything to go out there, play a kick-ass game, and win it. That is a monumental statement, sir. I'm looking for a donation from you. That was excellent. I had to read all of that, but if you could just chip in $5, $10, yeah, thank you. Yes, I appreciate that, Mr. Nacer. Thank you. That's Mr. Robert Nacer. He is a great man. He has a wonderful wife. They have a great, union. They do great content together. So I definitely supply him. So big time, big salute. Yeah, so I appreciate that. Mr. Robert Nacer checking in. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. He says, keep sharing the truth, sir. Never stop. I appreciate it. That's all I can do. I wouldn't sleep right. I don't know how people sleep. I don't know how people can live with themselves, live in their bodies and tell lies and, not be integral and not have honesty and not have integrity. I can't do it. It's a selfish thing. It's very selfish because I can't deal. I lay awake at night. It's happened to me before. I've tried it. I can't. I don't know how people continue to do it. I've lied before, and I stood up all night. I was sweating. I was tossing and turning. My stomach was churning. Didn't mean to rhyme there, but I did. But it's a horrible feeling. And why would you want to carry that around with you, knowing that that's part of what you are? It's weird. So that's another thing. But yeah, so Robert Nacer laid it out. He outlined it perfectly. What I'm saying, it doesn't matter if you got a girlfriend who is probably the most famous human being on the planet. That's beating out Oprah Winfrey. That's beating out even the president of the United States, Joe Biden. that's beating out a whole host of other people, and you're on the front lines with your boyfriend Kelsey. It's like the pretty girl with the jock. She had a song, with her talking about. She's like, you're a cheerleader and I'm on the bleachers, and that was way back in her early stages of her career. But she's the one now. She's the it girl. She's the one that people want to see. People want to know about. And so they make up their conspiracy theories. She's got to come on the field at a certain time, and if the clock strikes, right when the end of the game, then that means that there's not really the end of the game. It's going to be overtime, and if it's a close game, and nobody even cares about the scores. Everybody cares about the spread. That's where you get your money. Is the spread. You take 10 points from one team and you give it to the other, and you see how much is going to be the difference. And you see who's going. You pick the winner and you pick the loser. It's like when you're like 8 years old. You're watching the Super Bowl. You got your mom and your dad. Your dad's got a beer and some pizza and some wings. Your mom's chewing on some wings and maybe she has a beer. And you're only 8 years old or something like that. And you just got your eyes wide. I remember when I had my eyes wide. I was 8 years old. What was that? 8 years old was 96. Actually, I was 8. It was 8 years old was 97 because I was turning 9. And let me see who they were. I remember watching the game. I just can't remember who they were. 97. It was against the New England Patriots and the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers won. It was held on January 26, 1997. That's when it was held in January. They switched everything up because I think, not to coincide with the Grammys or, have them all matched up. Have, the Grammys, then the Super Bowl, then the NBA All-Star Game, and all those festivities. All of those are all matched up during Black History Month. Like, who cares about Black History Month? I don't. I still don't even know what it means. I wrote an essay on it on vocal.media. If you want to check it out, go to Skylar Saunders' page and read the article. It was one of the top stories for February, by the way, just to let y'all know. But yeah, so it's all about mysticism. It's all about mystical ideas. It's, people have their lucky charms. It's not even. It's like it's kind of like the Wizard of Oz. It's like you already had it. You know what I mean? Like the wizard gives the scarecrow a diploma, but he already had the smarts. He didn't even need to say the word. He said a number that wasn't real. By the way, he said a figure, an equation that wasn't real, that was actually false, ironically. I guess he didn't have brains, but he definitely demonstrated brains because he showed it through actions throughout the entire story. He masterminded the way to get to the witches castle and different things like that. And same thing with the Tin Man with the heart. He didn't give him an actual heart, and he didn't give the Tin Man actual brains. He just showed him the way of having to deal with who they were, and the what was the lion. He had that's the closest thing. He gave him a badge of honor. He gave him a badge of bravery. A cowardly lion that showed up and went into the castle at the end. And I hope I'm not spoiling it for anybody, by the way. But that's what it is. It's like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan had I remember hearing that he had Wrigley's gum, and he always had a pair of shorts, these pair of jock shorts, that he wore every game. I don't know if he watched them or not. That's not my business. But he said, every game he tried to, wear them. Oh, I see Robert Nacer in here. He says, I got to run, prepping for my own 6 p.m. show before the game. Okay. Keeping rocking the wisdom, the rhyme, the reason, and the rhyme. Absolutely. Salute to you, sir. Salute to Robert Nacer. Everybody say, check out Robert Nacer. Go to his page. He's popping. He's definitely showing, sophistication and greatness, just like myself. But I'm not even on his level. He's on a different level. He's on a higher plane than myself. Like Mr. Troy Star Terrain, a higher level. But they've earned it. And I'm not saying like they, oh, they're harder than me, and I'm not crying. I'm just telling the truth. Just telling the truth. Because I'm not saying that woe is me when I say I don't have a manager. I don't have. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Robert Nature. He sent via PayPal a strong tip. He says, stay strong. And I'm sending you good vibes. Of course, there's no good. I mean, we already know. There's no mysticism when I say that. But I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Mr. Nasser. I appreciate that. Thank you. And tell more people, more objectivists about me. That's all I can say. I'll take the money, but if I had more objectivists come through here, I would be just over the moon. I'll be ecstatic. So if you're still here, Mr. Nasser, let us fellow objectivist brethren, I say that with quotes, know about my show. So thank you. I appreciate it. Mr. Robert Nasser, everybody. Yeah, so it's all in your head. Even in the book, in the movie Space Jam, Michael Jordan said, here's some special liquid that'll make us play better. He was like, it's just water. That's what mostly it is. People have, I have to rub my lucky rabbit's foot, and I've got to knock on this door 3 times. I gotta walk backwards 4 paces. I mean, it's just little goofy stuff that people do, and some things are legitimate. Some things are close to being real, actually real, like the Seahawks. Seahawks have the 12th man. Now, that works to an extent. I don't know the exact statistics on that. How much, I think they're one of the highest winningest teams at home, though. I really do. I really didn't check it. I may, because I'm just flowing off of the dome now because I'm just thinking about stuff. But I'm gonna see it right now. I'm gonna see Seahawks home record. The win percentage at home is over 500%, or over 500. I shouldn't say percent. I should say it's over 500. So it's 625. What is the winningest? What is the winningest home team in NHL? In NFL. I said NHL. In NFL. The Packers do. They have the most home wins, 466. But I don't know about the year by the year. Well, oh wow. Okay, Seattle Seahawks are like, I think 10th, but that's something different. Let me see. Kansas City is the highest. They have the highest winning percentage at home at 741. Cowboys are 702. That's pretty good. That's not bad for a home percentage. But yeah. I hope this, I just want to see the spectacle. That's what is so special. I don't even care about the betting and people making money off of the spread and all. I just want to see 2 teams. I just want to see professional, actual, real referees calling real calls that don't jeopardize the entire game. And and remember that. Does anybody remember the lights going out in the Ravens game? It was the Ravens versus who are they playing? Let me see. Ravens Super Bowl. It was because they were really winning. There was a 34-minute delay during Super Bowl. What is that? 50? No, it couldn't be. I think it's 47. I'm not clear. Hold on. I'm looking for it right now. I'm looking for it. Looking for it. I'm still looking for it. Don't worry. We can. All right, it's not giving me an info, but whatever. The lights went out because they were thinking like people were, saying the Ravens were doing too well. Yeah, it was 47. I said 47. Yeah. Um, Ravens versus the 49ers. And the Ravens happened to defeat them, the 49ers, 34-31. And this was at the Superdome, you know. But yeah, whew, man, that's how serious these things are. That's why fights break out. People, these are good Christians. These are good God and Jesus loving Christians, but they'll fight you to the death and pray over your dead body, I guess, or hope you go to the gates of heaven after they killed you or whatever, and then they go to jail for the rest of their life because they were arguing over the point spread on one of the teams or something like that. That's how crazy stuff gets. That's how wild it gets. That's how ridiculous all of this gets. I mean, and it just gets heightened, and the Taylor Swift, angle. It just adds. I just like the fact that it is part of the spectacle, because it's like it's almost like a movie. It's almost like watching a movie. It's like, oh, whoa, we just introduced another character. Like you didn't expect to see this coming. You didn't see this going on. But the best part about all of this is the skill, the agility, the athleticism of the players, like Patrick Mahomes, who is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, no question. He's going to the Hall of Fame. He's already primed. I'm sure he may have one of the highest ratings, among all quarterbacks. He is the Steph Curry of the NFL. If Steph Curry is NBA, Patrick Mahomes is NFL. They're multiracial. They're biracial. they're extremely talented. I'm saying that as just a fact. I'm not saying that as as a major point. Like they have to be biracial to be great or something like that. But it just happens to be. This is a fact. But Patrick Mahomes and they have great deals. Everybody is getting hundreds of millions of dollars. Both of them. They're getting their they have their companies that are behind multi-billion-dollar companies that are supplying them with millions of dollars. So that's what's great. That's wonderful. I think I just love. That's what I have to keep returning to is the spectacle. Everybody talks about this is what's going to happen on Monday. Monday is people at the water cooler, people on their laptops, people on their phones. Yeah, man, that commercial was crazy. Yeah, man, that catch was wild. Oh, did you see that touchdown? Did you see that Hail Mary? Did you see that, that kick from 40 or 50 yards? That was wild. How did that happen? And nobody knows what's going to happen until it happens. Just like I said with the Ravens and 49ers. Who knew that the lights were going to go out for 34 seconds? Excuse me, minutes. 34 minutes. How did anybody even consider that? That the lights, that a multi-billion-dollar corporation or company or entity as the NFL would have the lights go out. They couldn't pay their light bill or something. But obviously it was some kind of technical infraction, some kind of technical ailment, technical inability for the lights to work. Something happened like that, but it wasn't anything, that is credible that somebody did on purpose. Anybody did it, intentionally to throw the game, to alter the scores or anything like that. It's totally different, completely different. So we have to take that into account. We have to realize that. We have to, understand the fact that this is all in the game. It's all in the game. And I'm talking about the game, and I'm talking about game. The game and game. It's all about the dollar sign. Let's make this money. Come on. Let's make this money. That's why all the betting has been increased. The FanDuel, the MGM, all of that. All that has been increased. And then the venue, of course, like I said before, the venue, Las Vegas, obviously, the center of all entertainment, all everything, from the different buffet lines to the legalized prostitution in certain areas. Um, you know, Las Vegas, and they try to clean it up. They cleaned it up like Times Square was cleaned up in the 80s and 90s. They brought in the shows and Cirque du Soleil and all the comedy shows and different things like that. People working the strip, the Las Vegas Strip. That's powerful. That's something that's very mighty. That's very strong. In America, that's what it's all about. Commercialism. It's not necessarily capitalism. Commercialism is an aspect of capitalism, but capitalism mainly means um, private property and the emphasis on individual rights and property rights. That's what capitalism is. As it's a social system based on moral judgments and moral. It's a system of morality. That's what it's based on. It's a social system of justice. So, who's going to win tonight? No, I'm not making any bets. I'm not making any rulings. I'm not making any guesses. I'm not pulling out the rabbit's hat, rabbit out the hat and presto. And, I'm not, my palms aren't itching because I'm getting money. I'm getting money, but, palms ain't itching. That's what I think is so magical and special about all of this is the fact that we have in America, one thing that is for certain, two things for sure. According to different readings, Oscar night draws in about 19 million people worldwide. You know how many people watch the NFL Super Bowl? 51 million. 51 million. That's like a sixth of the United States. I think 1/6, about 50 million people. 1/6. Come on now. NFL knows what they're doing. And Roger Goodell hasn't been fired, hasn't retired, hasn't resigned, hasn't done anything like that. He's still rolling with the punches. He had to come down hard on different teams. There was the suspension of Tom Brady because of alleged cheating. It just goes on and on and on. But we love it. We love the spectacle. It's all about the spectacle. It's all about the can I make enough money? Can I make this money? Can I watch this? Can I see that? Ooh, that's a sexy woman. She looks good. Can I fantasize about her? She's a great singer. She's a great actress. I love that commercial. Oh wow, with the chips. Oh my god, how did they do that with the Coke can? Oh my goodness, that was wonderful. The Pepsi. Oh my god, that was crazy. Oh, and I think it's just Pepsi. As a matter of fact, I think it is just Pepsi. I don't know if there's any Coca-Cola commercials. There may be, but I think there's a Budweiser commercial. They usually have the Clydesdales. Everybody loves the Clydesdales. There's no losing with the Clydesdales. They do something creative every year. They had the Clydesdales against other Clydesdales. They had the teams, and the referees were zebras, like little kiddie stuff like that. You just gotta love it. It's just part of the spectacle. You gotta love that. You gotta love that. That's why I think it's just so. I'm just so glad that I'm an American, and I'm a born American. I'm a foundational Black American, FBA. Born in Dover, Delaware, the first state on an Air Force base. If you can't get any more American than that, come on, somebody. I'm super American. and that's just by accident. All of that was not by my choosing, not by my understanding, not even by anything. It was just by birth. I just happened to be. I think Ayn Rand was born in Russia, and she was a hell of a lot more American than I. Hell of a lot more American. She had erudite genius level of understanding America, but made it very simple. Like that was part of her genius. She could make, the idea of, sports and quantify it and qualify it as something as a spectacle, something as, you know, uh, beneficial to one's own spirit, recreation, something that, is beneficial to human life, and just appreciate that. And that was part of her genius. And so she stood at that door to America when she was born, even though she was born in St. Petersburg, Russia. She was actually an American because of her attitude, her ideals, her thoughts. When she grew up, she was actually an American. And then she immigrated to America, and then she became an official American. And I still see in encyclopedias, I'm like, there goes the eye roll. I'm like, oh, Russian American novelist, Russian American philosopher. Okay, I just got word. This is just in. News. Jason Kelsey's Super Bowl outfit could keep him from going topless. This is a news report. There's a journalist with a degree from whatever college or whatever it is, and they had to literally type that up, put that in an article, and send it out, and it comes up in my notifications, and just that's what have I been saying for the past 31 minutes? I'm telling you, there are probably people betting. Will he take off his shirt? Will he keep his shirt on? Like, and let me see who. I don't want to get it confused. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. So Jason Kelsey, his brother Travis is Kelsey. Travis is the one that's dating Taylor. They call him Trailer. Trailer Park class, I guess you can call them. Even though they're from upscale or relatively high middle class backgrounds. Yeah, so it just is weird. It's just a weird situation when it comes down to it. It's just we get goofy. Like I said, I'm not dumping on the journalist that had to write that up. That's part of his job. But that's part of that's part of the mystique and the power and the grace of all sports, arts, all the things that we care about, everything. We just looked at the Grammys. We saw what happened there. With Killer Mike and Jay-Z going off on the Grammys. Um, hey, it's just part of the spectacle. I live for the spectacle. I live for it. The one moment I have in my mind that was so crystal clear was over 25 years ago in 1998 when Jordan had the last shot as a Chicago Bull and he clinched the sixth championship. I saw that game live. It's the most watched NBA game ever against the Utah Jazz. And he got his sixth ring. That was amazing. Game 6. 35.856 million people watched that game. The 98 NBA Finals. And he had that one, how the ball went in the hoop and it just swished. It was amazing. But I just live for the spectacle, whatever the case is, because that's next week. The 11th. The 18th. The 18th is the NBA Finals. And the 11th is of course the Super Bowl, and we live for it all. We live for whether it's a shot or a kick or a pass. We live for it all. We represent everything there is to be about it. That's what's so engrossing, and that's what's so great to realize, to understand, to really put a cap on, to to finalize, to different things. I mean, that's the things that I look for in the game. When it's the third quarter, it's like, what's the score going to be? What's the spread? Where's the spread? Who cares? Who has gambling problems? I have a gambling problem. I always lose. Do I have a gambling problem if I always lose? That seems like a problem to me. If I'm gambling and I can't win. They always say gamble responsibly and stuff like that. You have an issue, you have to call this number now. And that's the that's just the least of your problems in some cases. I was just listening to the piece of shit Tim Donaghy. He was talking about how Allen Iverson was, going after one of the other refs, but he was, taking away time from Allen Iverson. He was calling penalties that were false. And like the threat of the mob and the mafia, you put you in the hospital, something like that. That's what it is. It's a scary world when you get to that point. When it's not fun, when you're not having fun, that's a definite reason to get out. When you're making money, you're losing money. If you're still having fun, keep going. But if you're losing money, even if you're winning money, and you're just like, this isn't. I'm about to take my winnings and get out of here. I can't take the stress. Get the hell out of there, because your stress will kill you. And if somebody else doesn't, because you're flaking on a bet. But I love Super Bowl. I've been watching Super Bowl probably since, like I said, maybe I was like 8 or 9, 7 or 8, 8 or 9, somewhere in there. Yeah, so that really, changed my life. When I learned about sports. I'm a basketball guy, obviously. Oh, surprise, surprise! A black guy likes basketball. Surprise, surprise! But it's just the truth. It's just a fact. I never played hockey. I always admired hockey. I don't remember what his name was, but there was a black hockey player that played for the Flyers. He was always getting into fights. 90% of the NHL is white, by the way. So there's very few others that are of any other descent. Let me take a pause right now for the cause and let you know about some products. There is Peng's company. Peng is a good friend of mine. I can call him my friend. He definitely represented for me with his donation. He gave a great donation. But check out his products on lifestrongapparel.com. That's lifestrongapparel.com. He's got wheat. He's got seagrass moss. He's got gummies. He's got all kinds of products that he still hasn't sent me that I'm waiting for, because I want to try them out on the air. While I'm recording this broadcast. I definitely want to make sure I get him. And of course, at B Jackson, I don't know where he was a little salty yesterday. I don't know if he was serious or not, but I'm gonna still promote him until we're he puts a nail in the coffin for our business relationship. But I'll support him till the end. That's at BEEJACKSON 5478 at B Jackson 5478. So he fries up chicken. He tries non-alcoholic beers. He cooks sardines. I've never cooked a sardine. So, check out his platform for now. I don't know if we're cool anymore. He felt some type of way because I was talking about the snow bunnies. That's the only one I know, as far as good loving. I've never sampled any other, the black, the brown, the red, the yellow, never sampled. I've only sampled the white, and it was all right. All right, so Spirit Smooth Tunes, we are cool. We are definitely cool. We don't have any problems. He is one of my largest supporters. We're talking about 3 figures here. He's giving me. If every one of my subscribers had given me the money he's given me, I would be, really well off. I would probably be in the 100, probably in the six-figure range. I'd definitely be in the six-figure range. If not seven figures, maybe seven figures, but definitely six figures. But anyway, SPIRITSMOOTHTUNES, Spirit Smooth Tunes. If you want to listen to the Gap Band, Peebo Bryson, Sade, she just got shortlisted for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Najee, Kim, all of those different great artists, instrumentalists and vocalists. They're excellent. So if you want to check out those collections, go to Spirit Smooth Tunes on YouTube.com. Also, check out twitch.tv/.focus. It is DOTFOC, US _ just one _. That's it. And also, if you want to advertise with me, if you want to have sponsorship, go to skylersaunders@gmail.com. That's SKYLERSAUNDERS@gmail.com. And if you have enough money to offer me, you will join my 100 Club by contributing $100 or more in a month to this broadcast. And here are all the other ways that you can do it. PayPal, like Mr. Robert Nacer did, he had paypal.me/SKYLERSAUNDERS. Also Venmo @Skylerize, SKYLERIZED. And Cash App, $SKYLERSAUNDERS1. So hold on, because I'm going to check how much money he sent me. And then we're going to change it. Send me $10. $10, yes. So we raised $10. $150 to go. Let's make it. So I appreciate that $10. I would take that. I love, double digits. I love triple digits, quadruple digits, quintuple digits, sextuple digits, sextuple digits. I think it's seven figures. And I guess octuple digits is 8 figures. Nano or nano, innuendo, something. I don't want to mash it up. I'll mash it up. So I just like major figures. So whatever you can offer to me, I will definitely support and appreciate. Now, back to the Super Bowl, 49ers versus the Chiefs. What's going to happen? What's going to go down? I mean, I'm not going to do a prediction. I'm very tempted to say, what I think is going to happen. But I can say this. I think it's going to be a blowout. I don't think it's going to be tight. I think it's going to be a boring game for a lot of people. A lot of people are going to be like, this is boring Super Bowl. People get real mad when the Super Bowl is when it's decided for one team for the whole, 4 quarters. People get, upset. Like, oh my God, I'm watching all these commercials and all I'm getting to see is my team. Even if their team is winning, they want to see a contest. They want to see, a great, a sense of competition laid to bear on the field. All that for display. Display all those different aspects of the game. The heartbreak, the triumph, the agony and defeat, the sweet taste of victory. They want to experience all that. They want to see all of that. Even if it's not your team, you want to see, the spectacle. That's it. I keep on going back to that word, spectacle, but because it's so true. It's because of, Aristotle. Aristotle said for drama. He said for poetics, for poems, but they meant, for drama. For they just didn't have the exact wording, but his poetics was about, art having spectacle, but things in life have spectacle, like sports. Sports doesn't have a script, allegedly. I mean, there have been tens and thousands of games played across all the different uh the leagues and associations, but that's the key though. I mean, yet for the most part, there hasn't been a play that has been, or a whole game that has been orchestrated. I don't think that's ever happened ever. And there's been no evidence of that happening ever in history. In all the tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of games that have played in all of the different leagues, there has never been a scripted game that I can think of. Maybe there was one where okay, you're going to shoot the ball. And even if they did, I mean, how could they know they were going to make the shot right there? You would have to rewrite and say, oh, well, they have to get the rebound and then shoot the score. It's just little weird things like that, little strange things like that. But we got $10. We got $150 to go. Who's going to drop the $150? Somebody out there is going to send me $150, and it's going to be through PayPal, Venmo, or my favorite, Cash App. That's all you got to do. $150, and you got a wrench. You get a wrench. Be happy with that. Be glad you got a wrench. I think that's, the most important part about, this whole game and game is that you have to have skill, you have to have ability, you have to have thought, you have to have knowledge. That's the thing that's so, profound. I remember in a movie, Little John, he said, I can't remember the exact figure he said, but he the little kid said, in football is 10% physical and 90% mental. I think he said something like that. I was like, wow, that's true though. I mean, all the plays that have to be drawn up, everything that has to be set into the mics, they have to, all the lighting on the field itself, everything, the colors, the national anthem, the jets that fly over, all of that took thought. Every single bit took somebody's mind. Every single bit of it took the thought power of some individual mind. Some individual human being had to think about it. They program. I looked this up a few months ago. I don't remember the exact details, but they program exactly when the national anthem was going to be finished for the flyover. They have all that precisely made. So even if the singer, was off, they're still going to fly over, no matter what. But the one that stands out in my mind the most is the Super Bowl with Whitney Houston, who sang the national anthem beautifully, just gorgeously. The late great Whitney Houston. She sang it so beautifully, and the jets fly right over. All that takes thought. Everything from the making of the ball stitching. They everything is up for grabs. I mean, they say, okay, which team is going to flip the coin? Which team is, who's going to say heads or first? Who's going to get the first possession? Who's going to? It's all in the game. That's what makes it beautiful. That's what makes it interesting. And I think they did a better job. I don't know this, statistically, but I think they've done a better job with, not clipping people, not cutting people. It's not like the old days, it's, where you can just slice somebody. You can just, manhandle people. It's a different game now. People say it's a punk game in other stronger language, but who wants ECT or CTE? Excuse me. I have EC. I have CTE. CTE. I can't even remember what. I'll look it up. CTE. It's not corporate thug and entertainment either. It's chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Encephalopathy. Chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Who wants that? The game still goes on, so apparently they have Somebody. He was just playing. All right, we're good. Because I still was like, you know what? Oh man. We're good. We're good. We're good. Baja Jackson's good in my book. Is like I said, I said, I don't know if he was just playing or not, if he was feeling some type way, if he was in his feelings. I'm still gonna promote him because he's a good guy. He's got a blue wrench. If he wants to talk into me right now, he has all the rights in the world. It's your world. You're free to say whatever you want to say. So we got $20 raised. $140. What's up, Thug? What's up, gangster? You watching the Super Bowl? I know you got some beer and chicken, right? You got some beer and wings, right? You got some beer and wings, don't you? You got something with, and you got a nice lady with you, don't you? To watch the game with. I got my family to watch the game. I think my stepmom and my dad are going to watch the game with me. Yes, sir. That's all right. Hey, that's all right. That's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear. You keep going with that, man. That's what's up. You keep going with that. That's good business. That's good money. That's good money. Um, your aunt. Hey. I'm with my folks. So shoot, I can't look down on you or clown you. Oof. I can't do nothing like that because I'm living in my parents' house too. I'm living in the house I grew up in, my formative years. So it's what it is. This is Biden's America. He's got Negroes living with their parents for after getting out of the service. This is what happens. This is what you call America. No, I mean, I'm joking. I'm kidding. There are plenty of people, that have transitioned from all of the branches of the United States Department of Defense and have gone on to great careers. Look at, there's famous people. You look at Adam Driver. He's a superstar. He was in the Star Wars movies. He was in Girls. He's in Ferrari. He's a megastar now. You have to give it to him. So, so I just love this time. I love this game. I didn't know what the hell the NFL was about for a good 12 years, 12 to 14 years. I watched it. Like I said, I watched, the Green Bay Packers and stuff like that, early on in I think the Broncos when they were in the NFL, in the Super Bowl. But then I was like, this basketball thing is me. It makes more sense. It's running. It's jumping. They stop. They keep, okay, we stop. Then we go back, and then they run, and then they catch it or they don't catch it, and then they got to regroup and go back on the line and go to. I didn't understand any of that. I didn't understand why they were going back and forth like that. But I started to understand the poetry and the flow of the game, and I started to admire it, and I really enjoyed it, and I still enjoy it. I get, that anxious, feeling. I mean, I'm confident and strong, and but I'm saying you get that feeling that it's healthy to get that too. You have people that like I think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar used to throw up before every game, or if it was I'm trying to think of his name. What's his name? Bill Russell. It might have been Bill Russell. It was either Bill Russell or let me see, Russell. Yeah, Bill Russell. Excuse me, not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Bill Russell. Bill Russell used to throw up before every game. So let that be known. Yeah, good money. So I had to give it up to Baja Jackson. He's good money. Make sure you check him out on YouTube. B Jackson 58 5478. Excuse me. Let me say that again. B Jackson at B Jackson 5478. Make sure you go to his channel. Check him out. All right, so spectacle. It's like watching a play, but it's even more than watching a play because you don't know what's going to happen. You could have seen the performance. Oh, we've seen this performance over and over, and we've seen it's great, but it's not. But you can't say the same thing for a game. There's no game that's are like nothing. They can have similar plays drawn up. You can see triangle offense. Phil Jackson in the NBA. Throwing up the dynasty sign for the triangle offense. But that's what they do on the NFL field. They got those long, play cards, and then they shield their mouths with the cards, and they got the setup in their ear. They got the earpiece, and they're talking to it, and the quarterback's got all the plays on his arm. He's just picking out which one, and it's like controlled chaos, to be in a cliched sense, but that's what it is. It's controlled chaos. It's bodies flying all over the place and running down the field and going and catching the ball and not catching the ball, and there's offensive foul, there's holding, there's all kinds of different calls and things like that, and we can only hope that there is no bullshit. We don't want bullshit. That's what we don't want. You don't want people fighting in the stands. You don't want people fighting on the field. You don't want anything like that because it's a highly charged game. You get a bonus for winning the Super Bowl. You get accolades. You get recognition. You get more media attention. All that factors in, and that's what it makes it special. That's what makes it great. That's what keeps people, continuing to watch the NFL. Even though there was a time where I don't know about this season, but seasons past, over the past maybe 5-10 seasons, there's probably been a decrease because of the CTE issues, because of all the infighting, the weirdo things, and we didn't even get. Let me spend the last few minutes getting at the Super Bowl, artist, Usher. He has his own residency at Las Vegas, so he's right at home. Usher's going to bring down the house. He's going to do his damn thing all the way from Atlanta, now in Las Vegas, doing his thing. That's amazing. That's great. He's probably going to have some guest appearances with him. Who knows? You would expect to have him being on there earlier, but this is his year. He's dropping his album. He's got the peach in the back of his, a picture of his back. Some, oh no. Okay. All right, Usher. You do your thing, girl. But no, I'm just kidding. He is one of the best R&B singers ever. He is one of the best, singers flat out ever. One of the best performers. One of the great hit makers. He makes hits. When he drops records, they felt. As the late great Tupac Shakur would say, they felt. That is extraordinary. So I have to give a salute to him and all that he does, everything that he is, and everything that this whole spectacle. This is the real part of the spectacle because it's artistry. This is the art. This is something that we're not even sure we've seen before, unless you go into a shows. But he may bring out something that nobody even knows. He may have tigers and lions and, and bears. Oh my! Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! Another homage to the Wizard of Oz. But I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to my meal. We're having cheddars. If you never had cheddars Monte Cristo, you're missing out on life. Make sure you enjoy that. That's one of the best things you can possibly do. And I really will see you on tomorrow after whoever wins. I don't care who wins. They're not the team that I look for. You know who I look for. I'm not a fan, but I'm a big supporter of the Dallas Cowboys because I think they are America's team and they are bona fide, qualified, and certified as one of the best. All right, so thank you very much for watching. I appreciate everybody that came through. Just three people. Three people came through. Black Cuddy, Robert Nacer. He dropped in a line. Thank you for dropping that PayPal. And also Baja Jackson. Thank you for the Cash App. So I appreciate you. I will see you tomorrow after all of the spectacle is over. So thank you very much. Take care.